Hi everyone, Bob here. It's almost New Year's. Yes, we're in the gray when it comes to the coronavirus in my town. And a lot of people are in lockup or lockdown. That means they're staying away from most people and they're staying home as much as possible, only going out in emergencies. Anyway, I was thinking that maybe this would be a great time to share an exercise with you about breathing and about viruses like the coronavirus. But the video today is going to be called Breathing Exercises to Fight COVID for seniors, beginners, and everybody else. So breathing exercises to fight COVID. That's what it's called. Okay? And before we get into the actual exercise, you're going to need one prop, a piece of tissue. That's about it. Maybe even a light scarf or something like that. That's what your prop is that you're going to need. So I'll put mine right there. And because we're going to talk about breathing, that's respiration, if you want to use a big word, respiration. Let's talk about the parts of your body that contribute to great breathing. First of all, you have sinus cavities in your head or in your skull. And there are two of them right above your eyes and eyebrows, right about there in the lower part of your forehead. Okay? And these cavities have names, but we'll just try to get you to remember that your sinuses are in your face and there's two cavities, or you could call them holes or whatever you want to call them, above your head. There's a couple are right here on either side of the bridge of your nose there, in between your eyes. And then there's two right at the top part of your cheeks, right there. And the job of these cavities is to produce a mucus that will keep your face area moist, but especially your nose. Your nose needs to be moist so that when you breathe in, the air goes in through your nose where all the hairs are and all the filtration of the dust and the germs and maybe even the coronavirus gets filtered away before the rest of the clean air goes into your lungs. So that nose of yours is very important when it comes to breathing, and the sinuses help keep it moist, right? And then, of course, some people breathe in through their mouth, but you know what? There's not much of a filtration system going on in there. And your mouth is pretty moist, but I don't know, there's no hairs or anything, so you can still breathe in through your mouth, but the best place to breathe in great oxygen is through your nose. And then the air goes down into your throat, okay, before it hits the trachea tube that leads into your lungs. It goes into your throat, and that's where your voice box is. And it needs to be moist too. So you need to drink a lot of water. Your body needs water. It's mainly water. Well, not mainly, but 65% of your whole body is just water. And if you want every cell in your body to work properly, it needs water. And your voice, you can hear mine going a little hoarse right now because I'm working on it. I'm trying to drink more water. Anyway, your voice needs moisture. And then the air goes past your voice box and it goes into your trachea, which runs right beside your esophagus, the tube that goes into your stomach when you're eating food. You got one called your trachea, and it goes down into your lungs. And your lungs have a lot of tubes going every which way, and they're called bronchi. And at the end of the bronchi are these alveoli, and that's where the oxygen gets exchanged into blood. And the blood takes the oxygen out to all your body parts, your muscles, your bones, and your organs. If you're not doing the breathing right, if you're breathing through your mouth a lot and it's staying in this part of your body, the breath, where your lungs are, underneath your ribs, okay, that's okay, but I mean, nothing gets to work too much. It's just coming in a little bit and staying in there and going back out. So that's not good. You need to breathe in through your nose, and when you're ready to exhale, get rid of the carbon dioxide, which is all the debris or the garbage that your body doesn't need, and comes out in terms of air. It comes out of your mouth. So think of the breathing in and the coming out. And everything needs to be moist to work right. So you need a lot of water. If you're having trouble breathing, especially if you have an infection like maybe a virus called corona, which is a respiratory or breathing infection. If you have any problems like that, you want to make sure that you're doing a lot of this breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth before it gets into your body and while it's in there. And then you'll be able to get rid of it faster. But if you're one of those shallow breathers and you're always tense and stressed about everything and you can't get your brain away from that into the positive mode, then your breathing system isn't going to work very well. And if you get the virus inside you, you might have major problems like pneumonia. But if you're really good at this breathing thing, it'll help you a lot. And I'm going to show you the exercise. In fact, there's a few of them that I want you to practice. But before I do that, I got to talk about a little bit about this diaphragm, which is a muscle. It's one of the 4 core muscles, the 4 core main muscles, the diaphragm. It sits right underneath. Well, by the way, so you have this thing called ribs up here in your chest, and they're protecting lots of things, including your heart. Okay, so you got the ribs, but then you got the lungs, and the lungs are in front of your heart too, and they're protecting your heart, but they're important too. And the lungs is where all the oxygen and the carbon dioxide exchange happens. But this diaphragm, this muscle under here, is very important to how that works. Because when you take a deep breath in through your nose, the air goes down your trachea and into your lungs, and everything, if you're really good at this, should come way out like this, right? Fill up your lungs with oxygen. Yes, way out like this. Well, to get the lungs to come out like that, the diaphragm muscle, which is all cramped underneath your ribs here, starts to flatten out, and it pushes your major organs. Yes, your major organs, your stomach, your liver, your small intestines, your large intestines, and lots of other organs, but those are the big 4. Your diaphragm starts to flatten out, and it pushes these organs down, and everything gets sort of bulging out like this where your belly button is. And you're thinking, hey, what's that? Is that air down there? Well, not really. It's the organs getting pushed down. And then when you blow out carbon dioxide, you exhale, your diaphragm starts to contract again, and it slides back up underneath your ribs, giving your organs a chance to relax again. Right? So this breathing in and out, and this through your nose, and this diaphragm moving down, as it moves down, it creates a suction and it pulls in more air. So that diaphragm needs a lot of exercise, just like all the other muscles in your body. It needs a lot of exercise, and you can do that by breathing in through your nose and blowing out through your mouth. But here we go with the exercise. Okay, so I want you to, and by the way, I'm sitting opposite to you. So this is the left side of my body, and it's the right side of your body. I want you to take one of your hands and put them over the left side of your body, right there where your heart is. And I want you to take the other hand and put it over your intestines or your belly button right here. Spread out your fingers. So you're going to take a breath in through your nose, and watch what happens to these hands. As soon as I took that breath in through my nose, my hand over my abdomen, where all my organs are, started to get bigger because the diaphragm is pushing down and making room for the air in my lungs. It's pushing down, so this is getting bigger. Let's try it again. Blow out. When you blow out the carbon dioxide, the garbage, the debris that your body doesn't need, all the bad stuff, like maybe the coronavirus, when you're blowing out like that, my hand over my belly button starts to sink in. So I'm going to use my rectus abdominis muscles and my transverse abdominis muscles in my abdomen. I'm going to engage those as I blow out and suck my belly button in. So here I go with the breath out or in. Then as I blow out, I'm going to suck everything in. Try it again. Breathe in through your nose. Blow out. So this hand is over top of your lungs. You can feel it filling up. This hand is over top of your organs. And because of the diaphragm, if it's working right, you'll feel that get bigger. In through your nose. Hold it for 5 seconds, your breath, and then out through your mouth. Here we go. Try it again. In through your nose, hold for 5, and then out. Why is it important to hold your breath when you're practicing, when you're exercising your diaphragm with intention? It's important to hold your breath for 5 to give your lungs a chance to expand and moisturize the air. That's what happens. So there's water in there. You drink water and it goes into your lungs. You need it to moisturize the air. So as you breathe in, your lungs are getting bigger. You're going to hold your breath so that the moisture works on the air. And then you're going to blow out. Here we go. Yeah, like I don't want you to walk around all day doing that. But every once in a while when you work out, practice the deep breathing. Now, one more thing. When you blow out, I want you to create a O with your mouth. So I don't want you to just purse your lips and blow out, or just blow out. I want you to create an O. So here we go again. In through the nose, hold it, out through the mouth with an O-shaped mouth. Try it again. I almost didn't hold it for 5. Okay, so instead of holding on to your body, you know what's going to happen. This is going to get bigger where the lungs are. Your ribs are going to expand to give your lungs a chance to get bigger. The diaphragm's going to push down to get the organs out of the way so everybody has space up here. And then you're going to hold it so the moisturizing happens in the lungs, and then you're going to blow out. Okay? And as you blow out, suck in your belly there. We're going to do it again. We're going to hold this up when we blow out and see how much it moves. See, right now, I'm talking. It's moving a little bit. There's air coming out of my mouth. But let's see what happens. Well, it went like this, and then maybe 1 or 2 seconds, and then it flopped down again. I need more air in there to come out. So I need more air to go in. So here I go again. I'm going to hold my breath once it's in there. Holy cats. I want this thing to go up like this and stay up there. So I need lots of air coming out. You can hear my voice going hoarse. I need to drink more water so my voice box is lubricated. Holy cats. And you know what? If you don't practice the deep breathing, it's called deep breathing, it's called belly breathing, it's called abdominal breathing, and it's called diaphragmatic, your diaphragm breathing. They're all the same thing, okay? Because if you don't do it and you do shallow breathing in your thorax area, remember, head, thorax, abdomen, just like an insect. They have 3 body parts, head, thorax, and abdomen. And you do too. Anyway, so if you just do the shallow breathing up here, and you breathe in through your mouth a lot like this, this doesn't do, other than the pot belly that you might have, this doesn't do much. I'm just going to shallow breathe and watch my hand down here. As opposed to this. When you shallow breathe, this doesn't move much because the diaphragm's hardly working. And when your muscles don't work, problems happen. Yes, that diaphragm could start to spasm or cramp. You could get pains on your left side down here. And you could wonder what that is. And it could go into your back, right? You could get the hiccups. Yeah, the hiccups. The hiccups are when your diaphragm is spasming a little tiny bit. Yes. You could get all kinds of pains, like they got, remember you were out walking when you were a little kid and running, and then you got this stitch in your side? They called it a stitch, and you went, oh, what's that? What's that? I better slow down until it goes away. That's your diaphragm working so hard because you're a kid and you're running, but you've never practiced the deep breathing. Well, you didn't get many of those stitches when you were little. But if you're going to abuse your diaphragm, you're going to get the stitches and lots of other things. But before I leave you, I just want you to know that if you practice the deep breathing when you're exercising with intention, so you know exactly what you're doing and how to do it, when you practice it, if you run into any problems, like you get a cold or you get a sore throat or you know, you might get pneumonia or anything, or you might be diagnosed with COVID in the hospital and they want to stick a ventilator down to help you breathe. If you just practice the deep breathing now, then later you'll be able to do it a lot easier. It'll just happen naturally. And then you'll get over whatever it is your problem is faster. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. But a lot of people just don't include this in their exercise program. Okay? And try to do the blowing out part on the exertion of the exercise. So if you're doing a squat and you're going to lower your body down, take the deep breath first, and as you go down, do the blowing out with your mouth shaped like this. Get all that carbon dioxide out. All right? I hope that helped. Have a great New Year's.